All right, yeah, we are live from Nashville. We are in town, back at the hometown Nashville, back at the crib. It's funny because Tracy's upstairs, so same house. I was thinking about a way we was gonna do it, like live, where we're all in just one camera shot, but I was like, I don't have the tools for it
Yeah, man.
because
We
I.
gonna get the tools soon, though. We gonna get it soon. You gonna get it.
But man, you got any plans? It's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to
Happy,
everybody out there.
happy Mother's Day. Yes, we appreciate all the stuff that mothers do.
Uh, what you would
Ass
call it?
beatings, everything.
You got
I
any
got my fair
plans?
share. Me, no, my mom is getting. She went to Memphis to see a family friend, so she's getting back today. I got like some little gifts for her and everything. So, bro, I got a question for you. Do you find it hard to find stuff for your mom? Like you can answer this too, Trey. Like, is she like? Does your mom like? Does she want anything specifically, or is it just like, just give me whatever? You know?
Uh,
I feel like whatever.
yeah, kind. It just depends. Like she don't expect nothing too crazy from us,
Yeah.
so I usually just go like. I feel like with moms, it's always a good default for like a little goodie basket. Some
Some chocolates.
candles. Chocolates, maybe
Hmm.
some like really good smelling lotions and stuff like that. Just the but if you just get like five or six things like that, just put in a bag. Bam.
Good.
Yeah.
Little gift card maybe too. Some.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure, the gift card.
Yeah.
For
You got
sure.
any plans though? Like, do y'all?
We're supposed to be doing something, but we don't know yet because I think Callan's headed this way, and then my dad had to go drop some off at the office, so it'll probably be like later in the
Oh,
afternoon.
okay. Okay. Cool. Cool.
We can't be
Cool.
too late because my flight leaves tonight.
Oh yeah. What time you heading out?
I think the flight leaves at 9.
Mm,
It leaves at 9. I'll get there around 11 something.
I feel that. I feel that. Bet. Bet.
Then it's back to the grind.
Mm-hmm. Saw Mama Stribling graduated too.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
graduated yesterday or Friday.
Right. Yeah.
Friday.
So what she graduated with and where from? Was it Truveka?
Yeah,
Okay.
uh,
Cool. Cool.
I couldn't tell you what it is. Some type of like leadership thing. I don't know.
Oh,
Something like that.
that's what's up though, man. Congratulations to her.
For sure, for sure.
Add something else to the resume. Another thing you can pop up in the living room. Another diploma to the collection, to the Stribling collection.
For sure. Man, I was thinking about I was gonna do something for the Science with Uncle Strib, but I don't know what to do. I was thinking of like because it was
Put
last minute.
think of something. Think of something that you recently been doing that you think that would catch my attention, if there's anything.
Recently been doing. I
Yeah,
mean,
or something that you looked into. Cause I ain't
uh,
gonna lie, these topics be hella like interesting.
well, I'm trying to think of something that I could explain that's like understandable. Because the stuff I'm doing right now, it's
In like
so
layman's terms, basically.
yeah, it's so advanced right now. It's like if I just
I won't
start,
comprehend it. Yeah.
yeah, it'll just be like, all right, cool, kind of thing. Man, I don't know. I might think of something later as we go on,
Yeah, I
but
bet that.
uh,
Trey, was good with you? Anything new?
I'm chilling.
he chilling out of shape.
Yeah. Why are you so close to the TV screen last night, boy?
I was playing the game.
He was dialed in. He was locked in. He was.
Try to get the dub.
Going aggressive in some war zone.
But speaking of dubs or lack thereof, man, NBA's getting crazy. It's getting crazy, crazy. Like
The Knicks are up there right now, top seed. Like, never thought that would have happened.
and then man, the Lakers, they might
Down
not make
bad,
it, bro.
down bad, bro. And I was on the I was on the Xbox last night, and I was talking to like Bradley and some people that I live with back in Chattanooga, and I was looking at like they had the standings and stuff like while I was watching the NBA game of the West, and I think the Lakers are like 7th right now in the West,
Yeah.
something like that. So they got like I don't know how many games they're like far back behind from the 6th spot, but it can't be by that much.
It's
Maybe like
like it's either
two.
half or one because they got 7th because they were tied with Portland because they lost the game before Portland. Then Portland was 7th, Lakers were 6th. And I think it was either they were either tied or it was a half game behind. And so the winner of that and the series, the regular season series was tied. So the loser of that game was the flip, or the loser of that game was going to get 7th. So they lost and it got flipped. So they're only still half a game behind Portland. So there's like 5 games left. If they went out, with some losses from Portland, then they can slide back to 6th, I think.
Let's see, because I'm looking at it right now. So they are, yeah, they're 7th right now behind Portland. Damn, I didn't think Golden State was that bad. I thought Golden State was maybe like, I thought they were higher than the Lakers, but they're lower.
No, that's why Steph won't win MVP. It's because the team's not winning.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if his team was at least 5th or 6th, he'd be front runner. He'd be front runner for MVP for sure, easily.
I got a question though. With all these injuries with LeBron and AD, what's your prediction with that, man? Because they're 7th right now, so they got to play. They got to do the play-in game, right? Right now.
Right now they do, but there's a chance they could get 6 back. But let's say they stay 7th. They stay 7th. AD's playing well. The last game they lost, he played great. They're missing. Not only are they missing LeBron, they're also missing Dennis Schroeder, however you want to say it. They're missing him, which he is very important to the success of their offense. So when Dennis, I don't know when they come back, but if LeBron can come back and Dennis, and if AD keeps playing like he's playing, Dennis comes back, LeBron comes back, I think that they'll win the play-in. They'll make the playoffs. They'll make the playoffs. The problem is it'll come down to when LeBron comes back. If his first game back is the play-in tournament, I don't know. It's tough. But here's the thing: if they're 7th, it's not one and done. Because if they're 7th, if they lose, they still have one more game to play. Even if they lose, if they're 7th, because 7 and 8 play, I believe. No, 7. Yeah, 7 and 8 play for the 7th, and then 9 and 10 play for the 8th, I think. No. Wait. It's complicated.
Hold on, let me look it up then.
No. Here's how it goes. 7 and 8 play, right? So the winner of that gets 7th. The loser of that plays the winner of 9 and 10 for the 8th spot. So if you're 9 and 10, even if you win one, you have to win 2 if you're 9 and 10.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. It kind of got like a diagram.
Yeah, you have to. If you're 9 and 10, you got to win 2 because you have to win 9 and 10 to win to play for the 8th seed. So Lakers, I think as long as they make it to the playoffs, they'll be fine. Because I don't think it matters who they play first round, even if they play Jazz or the Suns, whoever has the first in the West. I don't think it matters. The problem is they just need to squeak out a win in 2 games for that play-in tournament. The problem is they play the Warriors. Right now, they play the Warriors first game. But I think it's not as much pressure people think. Because if they play, let's say they play Warriors, they lose. All right, cool, whatever. They still got one more. They got one more game. You know what I'm saying? It's not a one and done. So it's not as much pressure. But it also depends when LeBron comes back.
And you got to think about it, too, because I've been looking at this, too. You got to think Denver's going to drop a few games because Jamal Murray's out for the rest of the season. So that's going to be, they're going to lose a few games just by default. I feel like just with him just out in what he does for the team and everything like that. Who else? That's really it for the West. but
Portland could still
Utah,
drop.
Portland definitely could drop. I can see Dallas moving up to like the fourth seed.
No,
Definitely would.
no, no,
You don't think so?
no, no.
Actually,
Here, let me look.
oh yeah, I look at the record. Yeah, there's no yeah. How
No,
many more games do they got left of the season?
I think 5.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I thought they had like 10 more games or something like that.
Because the West, the top 3 in the West are pretty set. 1, 2, and 3 are set for sure. Actually, top 4 is set because between Denver and Dallas, there's a 4.5 game lead between them. So as long as Denver don't lose every single game left, they're straight. Really, it's between 5 and 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, and 7 is where you're going to see a lot of movement, if there is to be movement. Dallas is half a game in front of Portland. Portland is a game and a half above the Lakers, but the Lakers are like 2 or 3.5 above the Warriors. So if as long as the Lakers don't lose out, they're pretty much staying here. But they could still, if they win 2, Portland loses 1, then they can jump in front of Portland.
So the real battle is going to be between Dallas and Portland to see who really can maintain that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because if Dallas loses 3 and Lakers win 3, these next 3, Portland's 5th, Dallas is 7th, Lakers are 6th, kind of thing. But we'll see. I don't know. I think the East is gonna be more interesting than anything.
Yeah, with Atlanta at 5th and New York at 4th, and I think they're
because it's
going to be a dogfight between 4th through, let's see, I want to say 7th.
7th or 8th.
I don't think Charlotte's going to do nothing, bro. I really don't. I don't think they can win majority of those games.
They got to do yeah. But the interesting part is 76ers first, not Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Brooklyn's only a half a game above Milwaukee. And Milwaukee faded Brooklyn the last time they played. And then you got a 6-game difference between the 3rd and 4th. So
yeah, it's pretty much the top 3
is set.
Yeah.
Trey, what do you got prediction wise? Like who do you think are your top contending teams from each conference, East and West? And then who's your dark horse teams from each one?
Top 3 in the East, probably the top 3 right now. The 76ers, the Nets, and the Bucks.
Okay.
And then in the West, I'd say the Suns, the Clippers, and the Trailblazers.
You got Trailblazers in your top 3?
Wow.
That would be my ghost team, or like my dark horse team for sure. I think East is pretty much what it is. It is what it is. The 1, 2, 3, I got Brooklyn, not in that order, but just Brooklyn, 76ers, and Milwaukee, not in that order. And then the West, I think the Suns, I don't know about the Jazz. Like they have a great regular season, but I think come playoffs, I don't think people.
You think they really play too good, too great? Because they were shooting a 3 ball at a high clip, like towards the early middle of the season. Like it was crazy what they were doing.
They're playing too good a ball too early. So I think the top 3 teams that can really do some damage are the Suns, Clippers, and
you want to put the Lakers up there, but
no, Lakers gonna be my dark horse team because for them to make it to the finals, the position they're at, it's such a long journey. They're gonna have to be the dark horse team because we know they can do it. If they all get healthy for playoffs, we know they can do it. But I don't think there's ever been an 8th seed, a 7th. Statistic. I don't know if a 7th or 8th seed has won the NBA Finals or not, but to be that low ranked and to make it all the way, it's tough because they got to do. So let's say worst case scenario, they lose the first play-in game, they win the second play-in game, they're 8th. They have to face the Suns first. So not only do they have to do the whole playoff thing, they have to play 2 extra games. And for the Lakers, let's not forget they had 2 months in the off. They had less than 2 months after the finals to start the next season. 2 months. That if you look at all the teams that are battling these injuries, they're all teams that went deep into the playoffs and they had that short turnaround. Lakers, injury, tons of injury because of that quick turnaround. Miami with Jimmy Butler, he played like a dog during the fight. He played basically every minute of every game and he does everything. Dog. You got Denver with Jamal Murray, those injuries. And then Miami also got Victor Vito. Like, you can look at all those teams that went deep into the playoffs. That quick turnaround is killing those teams, especially the Lakers and Miami, because they were in the finals. Bam, like a month and a half later. All right, next season. That's tough. So I'm not surprised about the injuries and the load management, but for LeBron to have that short off season, condensed schedule. There's a game on every night, basically. Like, there's a condensed schedule, right? So you have that condensed schedule. They're talking about like they can barely practice. Then you talk about adding in a play-in tournament to get to the playoffs. And LeBron's 36, 37 now in his 18th year. That's tough. That's a long road.
And this is the first time I think we ever seen like LeBron really get injured,
Oh, yeah.
Like, when was the last time that you can think of LeBron was out for an injury or like a major injury at that?
The first year with the Lakers, he missed 20 games, but that's the longest he's ever missed, was just 20 games. And that was year 16. So he went 15 prior years without any serious injury.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But so Lakers is my dark horse team for the West. Obviously, I got the Heat as the dark horse team for the East, just because you can never count them out.
And plus, they went to the finals. Like, they didn't lose anybody. Like, they gained Victor Oladipo, which is another defensive threat and offensive, potential threat. I wouldn't say he is a threat offensively like that, but defensively, he definitely is.
But yeah, I don't really have a top three. It's really just Phoenix, Clippers. Because like Dallas, I don't really see them. I guess the Jazz, but I gotta wait till see what they do in the playoffs because they're kind of a young team, so and they haven't been there before, so it's like a different play. Playoffs is different, so I'd have to wait.
So
now I kind of see where Tre's going with Portland. Think about it. They got Dame, they got Melo, they got CJ McCollum, they got Nurkic. Like, you got those guys, and you got veteran guys coming off the bench like Melo coming off the bench that maybe not been there before, but they're vets and they've been in the playoffs. He's been in the playoffs. Obviously, he hasn't been in the big stage of the finals, but he's been to the Eastern Conference Finals. So he's been in those situations before. So you got veteran guys like that teaching these young guys. So I can see Portland making a small little run for it, and I wouldn't consider it a dark horse move at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll go with what's it called? For the West, the top three, I'm putting the Lakers up there just because I feel like you put LeBron on any team, like he automatically makes them a playoff team, and just the stuff that he's done in his 18 years is just ridiculous, especially going to the finals like 8 years countlessly. So I'm gonna put Phoenix, Lakers. I'm gonna put the Jazz up there too. I'm not too sold on the Clippers just yet.
Really?
I'm really not. I'm really not.
PG is going stupid.
I know that, but fine. It's like, when the playoffs come, it's a different season. Like,
you're right, but
we're talking about
man. We're talking about PG. He not look.
I
know what you're about to say.
Count him out, but this is just my opinion. This is my opinion.
You got Mr. Kawhi. You got the claw.
Come on, man. You can't say you weren't disappointed last year with that performance and what happened.
With who?
Just the whole team in general.
You really, bro? I don't know why. All right, let's get this out the way. Let's get this out the way.
Oh man, he gonna start arguing just because Mitch ain't on.
No, listen.
Mitch ain't on. He gonna start arguing.
Listen. This is for everybody that thought that Clippers team last year was gonna win the championship. You were drunk, okay? If you
I didn't think they
honestly,
were going to win it. I thought they were going to do something better than that performance.
no, they weren't. It was their first year. No, man. It was their first year together. The chemistry, I could tell you the chemistry off rip. I knew that wasn't going to be their year. I, that's exactly what I expected. I expected them to do well regular season, to do decent in the playoffs, but to come up short. That's exactly what I expect from that Clippers team. That's what I expect. This year is a little different because it's tough, but this year they have a better chance this year. But last year, not disappointed. That's pretty much what I expected. Just like the Lakers' first year with LeBron, right? Now, granted, he was hurt for a lot of those games, right? But and it was just LeBron. He didn't have much help at all. But that's what I expect. Everybody thought, oh, Lakers to the ship. No. I don't think so. Not at all. Just like if the Nets don't make the finals, I will not be shook. Because statistically speaking, you look at the stats, you look at the trends, when you build a super team, usually, or when you get these high profile guys on a team, usually that first year isn't it. It's always that second year. Sometimes it's the third year, but they got to stay together, build that chemistry. And it's really after that first season, that off season where they're all there together from the start of the whole off season together. That's when they make those moves. And then you see the work start to come through, but it's never that first year, ever. Very
I agree
rarely.
with you. I agree with you on that, but I just don't see them. I just don't see it. I just don't see it in my eyes.
But you talk about last year, you also got to look at it from this year. Yes, last year, yeah, you got to take last year into account to an extent. But if you got to remember, that's last year. We're talking about this year. This year, they've played a lot better. They're a lot more consistent. Paul George is playing on an all-star level. Kawhi Leonard is a MVP candidate this year, and he's playing great ball. You look at the whole picture this year, they're a lot better team than last year. So I'm sold on the Clippers. I've watched the games I've watched. They're gonna be tough. They're for sure gonna be tough. If Lakers don't make it to the finals, it'd either be Clippers and Jazz or Clippers and Clippers are third.
Clippers are third right now, and Jazz are first.
Yeah, so it'd either be Clippers and Jazz or Clippers and Suns. No. Because Clippers and Suns will have to play each other first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be yeah. I think the Clippers will make it to Western Conference Finals.
Fair enough.
If not the Lakers.
Fair enough. I'll say my dark horse is going to probably most likely be Portland. Let's go to the East. East is pretty much locked in for me, just the top three right there. Dark horse teams, I got two, man. I'm gonna put Miami up there just because they didn't lose anybody and they gained Victor. And I'm gonna put Boston up there too for my second kind of dark horse team that I think that might be. Yeah, I think
can be, but they've been
I know, but it's just something with Jason Tatum. It's just he can go on a scoring spree. That 60-point game, man, down 32, he's trying to come for the kill, man. So I got them as my second dark horse team, I guess. And plus, I think they playing right now. Ooh, but they down to Miami.
Oh, to Miami. Is it they're down by a lot?
No, they're down by 9 with 4 minutes in the first. So I mean, they got plenty of time. So.
Oh man, yeah, it's all crazy, and then this playing tournament doesn't help. But
while we're at it, let's just look at free agents.
Kyle Korver, he's not on the team. I know that.
Let's see, because I'm gonna start making a little bit of predictions with this one because this is gonna be. Let's see. Okay, man, we got Chris Paul, Kawhi, Mike Conley, Kyle Lowry, DeMar, Otto Porter, Victor. Got some names on here.
Dennis Schroeder.
Lonzo Ball, Derrick Rose. We got a little.
Montrez, Lou Williams, PJ.
I think the most interesting one out of the top, like, well-known names out of here is probably for me going to be Kawhi. I'm not Kawhi. Kyle Lowry and DeMar. Seeing where they're going to go.
I think
Because I really don't think Kyle Lowry's going to stay in Toronto. I think he might move somewhere else. And same thing with DeMar.
Really?
I think DeMar, you got to think about it. Like, DeMar hasn't won a ring yet. He's made his money in the NBA, man. He's just trying to get a ring at this point, I feel like,
Man, they need to go to Lakers.
No, exactly. Kyle Lowry, he already has his ring. But I just think he's been with Toronto for how long? Like 6 years? I feel like he's done tapped out. Not tapped out. I think they might just start to kind of rebuild from the point guard spot. Because Van Fleet, I think, is up next for that whole team. If not right now.
Don't they play together though?
What do you mean?
Like they're not the same position, are they?
I feel like they're interchangeable. I mean,
don't they both start though?
I think so.
I don't know. Kyle Lowry.
Or Fred comes off the bench.
I don't know. I like Kyle Lowry as a Raptor.
I do too, but you know how these organizations are sometimes, man. They'll just ship you off.
Let Chris Paul be a free agent next year?
I think he'll stay. I think if they do good in the playoffs and everything, or see like some potential, or if they can like work something out during the offseason before Chris makes up his mind, I think they'll wind up keeping him or signing him again.
I don't know why you get rid of him, to be honest.
I mean, exactly.
Especially being second in the West.
I think that is a solid team, to be honest, just with the things that they have going for them right now. I think they just need maybe an interchangeable 3 or 4 that's just a lockdown, that can guard that one player that might give them trouble. Just be a pest, basically, just like an off-ball pest, just annoying the hell out of somebody, That's what I kind of say that they might need.
I'm getting kind of hungry.
Oh, he can't get his Chili's. Well, I mean, you still can, but
yeah, I mean, I probably won't because Mother's Day, mom gets to choose. I haven't been to Chili's since I got here. Oh, well, it's always next Sunday for sure.
There's always more Sundays to get some Chili's.
Trey, speaking of Chili's, Trey, what's your favorite restaurant? Give me your favorite sit-down restaurant and your favorite fast food restaurant.
Sit down?
Yeah, both.
Top three of both.
Oh, top three,
yes.
Sit down?
He don't say Red Robin's.
Nah. I just like Charlie's because their rolls are really good. I said it would be 3. Then I had Cheddar's at 1.
Ooh.
Cheddar's at 1.
Ooh,
okay.
That's a good restaurant.
2, I'd probably say Outback.
Okay.
And then fast food, Zaxby's number 1. Then 2, Chick-fil-A. And then 3, Whataburger maybe.
It's not bad. What about you, Calvin? What's your top 3?
Man, sit down. Man. I would say Logan's when they did have it back here. The rolls were pretty good. Miller's, which is now where Logan's used to be. And then I'll probably say Yats, man. That's a little Cajun spot by Dick's. That's a little hole in the wall, kind of like mom and pop store, I would say.
Hole in the wall.
Not a hole in the wall, but it's a mom and pop store. So fast food, I don't really be eating fast food like that, but I definitely have to put Chick-fil-A up there. Would you count like Subway as fast food?
Yeah, we will just to make it simple.
Okay, I'll put Subway up to fast food, and then I'll say Sonic just for the like cheddar peppers and mozzarella sticks. So
That's why for Sonic.
Sonic, I mean, and their drinks.
I was
I
about to
mean,
say they
the
drinks are
limeades.
undefeated.
Yeah.
We went Sonic. I got a frozen lemonade. Bro, them things fire.
Dude, strawberry limeades, Route 44, you can't go wrong with it.
Oh, for sure. Let's see. I'll start with sit down. My all-time favorite sit downs, Famous Dave's, but they're not everywhere.
They're not.
You've been to Famous Dave's?
Oh, of course, bro. You don't remember we used to go there all the time, like back in high school? It was when we were in Cool Springs, because making a trip to Cool Springs from Spring Hill, that's kind of a drive back then for us.
Yeah.
But I remember we used to hit Applebee's for the appetizers.
Half price apps. Those. Yeah.
Obviously Famous Dave's if we were in the area, and then Sweet Cece's, bro. But that's not like a fast food place,
yeah, I need to I gotta hit up Sweet Cece's before I leave. I still haven't been. So I got lazy yesterday.
See, I got Sweet Cece's around the corner, so I'm just like,
I know.
Yeah.
My favorite sit down, Famous Dave's, is one. Two is two gets tough because it used to be Cracker Barrel. I used to love the Cracker Barrel.
Mm-hmm. But do you go for their breakfast food or do they go for the lunch?
I go for their lunch. Yeah.
Oh man, you missed it.
No. See, if you're going for the breakfast food, it's like I wouldn't take Cracker Barrel's breakfast over IHOP or Denny's breakfast because like that's what IHOP and Denny's do is breakfast. Now I get Cracker Barrel, they do that, but like their breakfast isn't better than IHOP's. Like their pancakes aren't better than IHOP's pancakes. Like, they're not.
My.
But
that is debatable. That is debatable in my
it's
eyes.
not. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
right, we're gonna start a poll. I'm gonna start a poll, and then we're gonna get the results next week.
Well, here's the thing with a poll is a lot of I'm saying a lot
bias.
Of people, a lot of people don't like Cracker Barrel. So you can do the poll, but a lot of people don't like Cracker Barrel because like
people that don't like IHOP.
No. But a lot of people eat and go to IHOP. IHOP is bigger than Cracker Barrel. Let's be honest. Like IHOP is huge. People love IHOP because you got the crepes, like you got all this stuff that Cracker Barrel doesn't have. It has more options and more versatility, right? Cracker Barrel, one, it's not everywhere. IHOP is everywhere. Cracker Barrel is like
Southern.
It's Southern. It's that niche because once I left Tennessee and went to Missouri and started talking about Cracker Barrel, they're like Cracker Barrel. Like Cracker Barrel isn't big outside of Cracker Barrel started in Tennessee, started in Lebanon, Tennessee. So Cracker Barrel is huge in Tennessee. You go outside of Tennessee, it's not as big as we think it is because we're in the state that it started in.
You got a point.
But
you got a point.
But it used to be
my opinion, I think their breakfast is better. That's just my opinion. But
anyway.
But you ain't gonna agree with it. So
now I'm not saying their breakfast is bad though.
But you would prefer IHOP.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
But it used to be Cracker Barrel. I haven't been there in a minute though. And last time I went, it just didn't hit. So I was just like, but it was like Famous Dave's, Cracker Barrel, and like Texas Roadhouse or like Logan Roadhouse, same thing.
Yeah,
you got the roll stuff. That's my top. That used to be my top 3. Now it's still Famous Dave's, even though I haven't been in forever because there's not a Famous Dave's in close to where I live. But I still love Famous Dave's. Right now, it's still probably Texas Roadhouse, and 3 is Chili's. That's my current list.
I'm gonna switch it up for you. Now, if you were back in Missouri or back in Texas, would your sit down spots change or are they still the same? Because mine will change if I'm back in Chattanooga.
Well, I mean, my favorites wouldn't change, but where I go more often would, because there isn't a Famous Dave's close to San Antonio. So like Famous Dave's still my favorite, but I just wouldn't go there as often. But like 2 and 3 is still the same because they got Texas Roadhouse out there, obviously. And they got a Chili's, obviously, because I go every Sunday. So, I mean, my list would still change. Now, here, my sit down, my fast food probably changed regionally. Right now, it's obviously Whataburger. Or no, Zaxby's, even though it's Zaxby's, Whataburger, and then 3 is I don't know my third because I either go to Zaxby's or Whataburger for fast
Yeah.
food. But three, if there's one close, I probably just Sonic by default, simply because of their drinks, not even their actual food, but like you talk about the slushies, the limeades, the frozen lemonades. Like you can go get just a burger, some tots, and you get the drink. The drink is what you're really going for, but
Yeah.
you're just gonna get a burger and some tots on the side kind of thing. So Sonic is up there. Or no, let me take that back. Third is Chick-fil-A. I forgot about Chick-fil-A. But
See,
my problem with Chick-fil-A, it's too expensive for me, so I rarely go because
it can get pricey.
it
It can
gets
get
real
pricey
pricey,
sometimes. It can get
especially because
pricey.
their portions aren't very big. Like a 3-piece at Chick-fil-A, their strips this big. That's not enough. So like I'm adding extra strips. Next thing you know, it's a $15 meal for one person. I might
And
as
the
well
thing
go, I
about
might
it,
as well just go to Chili's for $15.
see, if I was back in chat, my sit downs would definitely change. Like they had this little spot called New York Street Deli or whatever. Dude was straight from New York, Italian dude, just
Right.
knew how to whip up some of the best like sandwiches, like roast beef, pastrami, you name it, they got it. That would be my first for sure. And they got specials every day and stuff like that, or like sandwich of the day and stuff like that, which was pretty solid. Uh, what is this one place, man? There's this one wing place that was right on like the main street. Oh, I forgot the name of it, but they had some great shit like roasted chipotle wings, man. So good. Um, Let me see. What would my third be? I haven't gone there in a while because they tore it down, but I would say Genghis Grill. Even though they have one here, I haven't been to it, but the one back in Chattanooga was pretty solid.
Really?
So Genghis Grill is pretty solid place before they tore it down. But you ever been to Genghis Grill?
No.
Would you ever go?
I don't know what it is.
It's like Mongolian food, like stir fry, if you like that stuff.
I don't know. I'd have to
Do
see
you
the
like
menu.
do you like lo mein, like noodles?
Not really. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, I mean, it's not that I don't like. Yeah, I do, but it's like
I
it's
feel like you were very strict, like what you eat, like steak, chicken, like
well. Here's
potatoes, like
when it comes to restaurants. Here's the thing. When it comes to restaurants, like I'm always like I'll try anything, but when it comes down to me going to like if I'm hungry and I want to go to
you gonna
get
go to
something to
what you know.
eat, I want to make right. I'd like to go to Chili's because I know what I'm gonna get. I know it's gonna be good, and I'm gonna eat all of it. Now, if I'm hungry and I'm going to a restaurant I've never been to, and it's different kinds of food, if I go there and get something that I don't like, I've got to pay for it. Then I have to pay to pick something up on the way home because I'm still hungry because I didn't like it. So then it becomes this weird dynamic where it's like if I'm not hungry or like I could eat and I was like, oh, you want to try this spot? Cool, that's one thing. But if I'm ready to eat and I'm trying to go to this different style of food that I've never had or whatever, then it's like
and
that's tough.
yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
But it's not that I don't want to try it. It's just the situation for real. Like, but like let's say this. Let's say somebody wanted to go to this fancy like restaurant or whatever, and it's some foreign type food that I've never tried before. And they're like, "Oh, you want to go here?" And they're like, "I'll pay." I'm always down. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to spend no money. Then I can, test the waters, whatever. But I gotta pay first. I don't know how expensive the food is. If it's a different, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go and drop $40 on something I don't like, because then I'm hurt. Because then I gotta go to Wendy's get a 4 for $4 because I'm still hungry. So it's just the situation's tough. Like when it comes like, but if I go to a restaurant I've never been before, but it's American food, or if it's like some restaurant that I've never heard of, but it's like American type food, I can always get a steak and a baked potato. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always certain restaurants.
They always got chicken fingers as a backup. As the worst, as like if there's nothing that you like, bro, you got some chicken tenders that you can get.
So some restaurant, I usually always say I can find something to eat at a restaurant. So if I go to, whatever, as long as if they serve steaks, I know I'm good. I'll always ask like, do they serve steaks? They're like, yeah. So all right, I'll check the menu out. And if there's nothing that I see that I like, I'm just get a steak and a potato. You know what I'm saying? It's a safe bet. But if we like yesterday we went to a Mexican restaurant. I almost never eat Mexican food, just because I just when I'm at I don't go out. When I do go out, it's Chili's. Like So I rarely go Mexican food because I don't like spicy food. I don't like avocado. I don't like guacamole. So there's a lot of stuff that they use that I don't like, and they already be putting it in there. So I kind of just don't try to deal with it. But we went to this Mexican restaurant downtown Nashville. I forget the name of it, but it's a part of that new section that they just built where it's got like, it's crazy. Like Nashville's changed so much. But so I'm looking on the menu. I was like, I don't know what I want. So I'm like looking. And I found I like burritos. So usually when I go to a Mexican restaurant, I just go straight to the burritos, right? Look at the burritos, and there's this. Me and Trey got the same thing. It was called like something chicken. I was like, I'll get this. And so I ended up getting it. And I was like, no avocado, no guacamole. I don't like rice. I don't like fancy rice. So like I eat plain white rice, like Asian style, plain white rice. I'll just add either some butter and some sugar or whatever. But I don't like when you start doing stuff to the rice, right? So I got the rice out of it with beans, fire burrito. You know what I'm saying? But like when I go to Mexican restaurants, I always default to a burrito if I don't see anything else I like, because I know I can just get either chicken or beef with the beans, the little queso sauce they put on there, and whatever. I know
topping.
Right. And I know I can always take the rice out. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? If I got the beef, the cheese, the beans, and the lettuce, whatever else, the pico de gallo, as long as that's in there and no rice, I'm good. So I usually can find something to default to, but it gets tough.
I feel that. I'm not really much of a picky eater. Only thing I do not like is gyros or gyros. I do not like lamb. That's the only thing I would not eat.
You don't like lamb? See, when it comes to meat, I'll eat any meat. Like I'll eat like lamb, crocodile, alligator, squirrel, raccoon. Bro, it doesn't. If somebody goes out and hunts it and brings it to the house or brings it to me, I will eat it.
I've never heard somebody say crocodile before. I've heard of like frog legs, squirrels,
anything. I'll eat any meat.
Deer's obviously very common. I don't know why I said that, acting like it wasn't common. But crocodile, what does that even taste like? What's the texture like for that? Because that just
chicken, like just the meat of it. As long as you're not eating the skin.
Is it like tender, rough? Like is it like a steak, chicken? Like how would you?
It's like a chicken.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, because my dad brought some alligator home once. But like when it comes to meat, all you get, like I can eat as long as you just season it right, I'm good. I'll eat it, meat, whatever. It's the sides that I get picky with. Like, because I don't like onions. I don't like ranch, mayo. So like, when people make sauces and they throw mayo in there, I don't like none of that stuff. So like if I have some type of meat, the only thing I need with it, like you can bring me lamb, squirrel, raccoon. If you bring me a meat, if I got a baked potato with it, I am straight. I'm good. All I need is a baked potato.
The default side. You can't go wrong with a good baked potato, bro.
Baked potato or some mac and cheese.
You can't go wrong with that.
We good.
You really can't. Good. You can't go wrong.
That's the only area I'm not picky is meat.
Or some baked beans with some meat or some hamburger meat or bacon in it.
Yeah.
That's a good go-to as well. Can never go wrong with that. What's this little finance section you got, man? I've been seeing this.
Man, look.
I've been seeing this lately.
So look. So I'm like a amateur investor, right? So I invest my money very very passionately, right? So let me just back up a little bit. So I have money in a lot of different stocks, right? This is free game. Everybody take notes if you're listening or watching. So I put my money in. Let me first say that I am not a licensed financial advisor. I'm not telling you to do anything with your money. I'm just telling you what I do and my personal experience. Right. So let me first say I'm not licensed, so I'm not telling you what to do with your money. Just got to say that just to cover me legally. I've had money invested in stocks for a while. I had to liquidate. I ran across Mercy. I had to liquidate all of it. But when the stock market crashed because of COVID, I put in like $430 back into my stocks, right? And it's grown astronomically since then. But I've always invested in companies, stocks. Now, and this I always wanted to get into the crypto world, but crypto is not the same as stocks. So I had to do some research first. I had to figure out what's what, and I had to, kind of learn the crypto market first, which takes a little bit. And Bitcoin, right, which is huge. Bitcoin's huge, but Bitcoin's worth like $55,000 for one share. So if you're not in Bitcoin already, there's kind of no point in getting in it unless you just have tons of money. But like people like us, we don't have $55,000 set aside to just buy a share of Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you can buy fractional shares of it, but back they just started fractional shares of Bitcoin. You had to buy a full share at once, not that long ago, or since then, from the inception to just recently, you had to buy a full share. So I was like, too expensive. So like, there's no point in trying to get in on Bitcoin. You don't have the money. You got to have a lot of upfront money. So I heard about Dogecoin. I call it Dogecoin, but Dogecoin, it is a crypto. It's fairly new. I believe it started in like 2016, but in 2016, it was like a fraction of a penny is what a share costs, right? Well, now people like Elon Musk and Mark Cuban are getting behind it because they believe it's going to end up being like a Bitcoin where it's going to be worth tens of thousands of dollars for one share. But right now, I think, it's Mother's Day. I think as of right now, it's worth like 50 cents a share or something like that. But I found it, right? And I was like,
50 cents a share right now?
Yeah, like it's cheap. It's a cheap crypto. That's why a lot of people are getting in on it now. Because if you can buy a lot of them at 50 cents a share later down the road, when it's thousands and thousands of dollars a share.
If you can sit on that if people can be patient for 3 years or whatever the time it may
be. Exactly. That's the idea. Is the long-term game, obviously. Now, so when I got in, it was like 25, 30 cents a share when I got in. I bought a lot. I got a few thousand shares of it. And so, bro, when I've been telling all my friends to get in on it now, especially people like, I'm still a college student, so I don't have money like that. And when you're fresh out of college or when you're starting to get your feet set in the job industry, you don't have a huge amount of money saved up over time. You're just getting started. So you don't have a lot of money. So I'm trying to tell my friends now, put in what you can now, but while it's under $1, because 50 cents a share, you put in $10, it's 20 shares. Back when it was 30 cents a share, I put in a few $100s. I had 1,000 something shares, right? So you want to get in now while it's under $1, so you can afford. You're not trading one for one. Once it's $1, this is some of my terminology I've came up with. 1 for 1 is when a share costs $1, your $1 buys you one share. That's a 1 for 1 trade. That's the threshold for a lot of stocks that I buy because I don't have a lot of money. So when I first started, I was trying to buy stocks that were close to $1 as possible so I could trade a 1 for 1 ratio. Well, obviously what you want is when you first buy stocks or crypto, you want to buy them under a 1-to-1 ratio. So like right now, your $1 can get you 2 shares of Dogecoin. That's a 1-to-2 ratio. That's phenomenal. Now, eventually, like Bitcoin is nowhere near 1-to-1. Your $1 gets you like 0.00001% of Bitcoin. That's where you want it to eventually get after you've bought as many as you can at or under the 1-to-1 ratio, right?
Hey, Finis, quick thing. This is on Robinhood, right? Because I just looked it up.
Yeah, that's what I get it through.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. There's 54 cents a share. You're right.
Right, 54.
On it.
54 cents, right? So it's close to a 1-to-2 ratio, close enough. So you want to get as many as you can. So if you put in $200, you get 400 shares. Now, down the road, if it's $10, it goes up to $10 a share. Your $400 turns into what? 4,000. 400 times 10, it turns into $4,000. And as it grows, it multiplies. But the key to getting in on a stock or crypto early, the key is to buy as many as you can under that 1-to-1 ratio. Then when it gets 1-to-1, I'll still buy stocks or shares, but I'll buy less. Because like right now, if I put in 100, I get a lot back. But then when it's $1, I put in 100, I get 100 back. It's a 1-for-1 trade. So I'll still buy them. I just won't buy as much because it's starting to cost more money. Then once it gets up to $5 a share, then that's when, for me personally, I don't have the money to just buy hundreds of shares. I'll buy maybe 1 or 2 a week type thing, because you're talking $5, $15, $20, $25, $30 to really buy multiple shares. Then once it gets to $10, $20 a share, for me, it becomes unaffordable to buy multiple shares. Then I'm only buying 1 share a week type. Then eventually it begins to the point where I can't afford to buy anymore. So I got to buy as many as I can now before I can't buy anymore. Because once it get, that's the thought of trying to get in on it now.
Mm-hmm.
Because down the road, I mean, if you got 4,000 shares and it gets up to $50,000 a share, you're talking about 150 million plus in just one crypto, like
Yeah.
crazy. So I've just been telling everybody, get in on it now while you can, because it's gonna go up. I was telling my friends,
At
like, it's
50
not
cents a share, dude, like that, you can't. I feel like that you just have to, especially with people like Mark Cuban and who's other dude you said,
Elon
Elon.
Musk. Yeah.
Elon, with people like that, with their profile and like their resume and everything, that's trying to get behind it and everything, is just like, why
Oh
not?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's a good investment. Like if they're trying to get in with it, like why not doing this? Why not hop on the train, bro?
Right.
Like,
And it's not like it's a company where, if a company accidentally does something, then it crashes. It's not a company, it's crypto. So like it, the likelihood of it crashing is low. Like once it's up, now it might variate a little bit between like, it might be, because I think yesterday or this past weekend had got up to 70 cents a share. Now it's down to 50. But 2-3 weeks ago it was 20 cents a share. Now it's up to 50. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it'll vary, but it's not a company. It's not like the stock is, it's not like its business is gonna make the outcome of the stock per se, because it's not a company. So once it starts to make its tick up, it's more or less going to stay at that level. So I think eventually once it gets to $1, it's going to stay about $1. It might go up to $1.10. It might drop down to 80 cents. But then, maybe a year, 2 years later, it's going to be at $5. It might get up to 5.30. It might drop to 4.80. But then eventually it get up to 10. Then it's going to get 20, 30, 1,000. Just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin started off pennies. Now $50,000 for one share. So it's gotten up to 60,000. So, but Bitcoin's not a company that, maybe if they came out and say something racist, then people stop buying, stock drops. Like it's not an entity. It's literally just kryptonic money. You know what I'm saying? So the value's gonna go up over time. And the likelihood of, now I'm not saying it won't crash. There is always a possibility. The likelihood isn't as high of a risk as it is with a company. Because Ford could come out and make a new line of trucks. I have money in Ford. I have a lot of money in Ford. It's one of my favorite stocks, very stable. Ford could come out with a line of trucks next year, and these line of trucks end up having a malfunction to where the tires fall off, or like the axle breaks on a bunch of their models. Ford's stock is going to plummet. They could go out of business. They go bankrupt, right? That's always a risk for something. Like, you don't know. They might produce something that ends up being terrible. People pull out of the company because people are dying, because we're talking about a vehicle. They're on the interstate, tires malfunction, you can't have that, or axles malfunction, you can't have that.
Especially an American-made car, that would
exactly. It would, if you have money in Ford, it would cripple you. But when a company, there's always that risk of them something happening to do that. Well, just like I keep saying, crypto, there is no product to make them go negative, to drop. You know what I'm saying? So they
don't have an office building. It's basically It's like they don't have a headquarters or anything. They don't
sell a product that could turn out being bad. Like, it's just crypto. Like, so I think it's a safer bet than the average stock market. But that's just my financial talk.
Little 2 cents putting game on everybody.
Look. Like, we still talk about. Let me share some of my thoughts for people listening. Free game. So here's because here's what a lot of people don't know about crypto, or like the difference. So this is the reason why I didn't get into it as early as I could have. Crypto doesn't, so because it's not a company, it doesn't pay back dividends. So 70% of the stock market return is not from the appreciation of the value of the stock. It's the dividend, which is basically you own a percentage of the company. When they make their money, you get a percent. It's usually a small percent unless you own a ton of stock. But they pay you a check every quarter. Most companies, some companies don't, but you got to do your research. But we're talking about dividend paying stocks. They pay you every quarter. They pay you an amount of money because you own a piece of the company, right? If you own 2% of Apple, whenever Apple get their revenue, you get 2% of it, right? That's how it works. Crypto, there is no payout in dividend. There is no dividends. So the increase in value is 100% the appreciation of the value of the stock or the share, right? So, and I only buy stocks that pay out dividends. I want a paycheck every quarter from each company I partially own. That's my strategy when I invest, which is, whatever, because 70% of your return is usually from dividends, right? So people ask, well, if crypto doesn't pay you back, how do you make your money? Well, at some point you have to liquidate it, right? You could have $200 million in Bitcoin, but if you don't liquidate it, you can't spend it, you can't use it. You own it, but you can't use it unless you liquidate it, which means you shell your shares of it, right? So what I try to tell people is, here's how it would work. Let's say we both get in on Dogecoin, right? Let's say we put in X amount of money, and let's say 10 years down the road, our portfolio is worth $100 million. Like let's just say 10 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you have $10 million now, what you would do is you wouldn't liquidate all of it. You would just liquidate. Let's say we liquidate $1 million, right?
Isn't there like some like taxes and everything that has to go with it too? Like how much? You never get the full amount. There's going to always be some taxes taken out.
But to make the math and make the example simple, let's ignore taxes for a second.
Okay.
So let's say you liquidate $1 million, right? Well, you take that $1 million. So you have 9 mil still left in the Dogecoin. You have $1 million in your bank account. Let's say you just direct deposit. Well, you take that mil and you invest it into something that pays back or that you can make return on. So I also have a Fundrise account, which is real estate investment. I have a real estate portfolio that I have invested money in. So my goal is eventually, whenever I get however much, hopefully, let's just be optimistic, 10 million from Dogecoin, just Dogecoin, not even my other companies. I'm going to liquidate $1 million. Take that $1 million, I'm gonna put it into Fundrise, because in Fundrise I make last year I did 9% return on my money investment. So I got 9% return in dividends. It's all in dividends. 9% return in dividends from my real estate. Well, if I put in $1 million, and let's say next year I do I'm averaging 9%, because this year I'm on pace for like 10.5%. Fantastic. But let's just say 9%. If I take the $1 million from Dogecoin, put it in my real estate portfolio, and I make 9% on that, that's $90,000. That's $90,000, and I don't do a thing, right? So then let's say Dogecoin, it's 9 mil. Let's say it appreciates over time. Another 5 years down the road, it's worth 100 mil. Well, I could take, I don't know, let's say I take 99 mil out of that, put 99 mil in the Fundrise. I got 100 mil in my Fundrise, right? Well, what's 10% of 100 mil? 10 mil. That's me. That's what I make off of my Fundrise. That's just the dividends. That's not me taking out. That's not me touching the principal. That's literally just the dividends that gets paid to me, right? 10 mil. That's 10 mil a year, Calvin.
Hold on. But you're talking about the dividends and everything that you get. Are you the dividends that you get? Are you putting that back into it? Or are you taking the money out?
That's the thing. Like you can do whatever you want. Now, if I'm on this level, if I'm on this level, let's say I have 100 mil because of Dogecoin. I took money of that, put 100 mil into my my real estate. I'm making 10% return, right? So 10 mil, right? Well, it depends what you want to do. Now, you could take the 10 mil, put half back into it. So over time, it increase. So down the road, it'll be like next year, it'll be 11 mil. The next year, it'll be 13 mil. As you increase the value of your portfolio, you get more back. Or if you're cool with, getting 10 mil a year, like it depends if I'm working a job, I could take just $1 million out and put the 9 mil back in there. You know what I'm saying? Or if I don't, let's say, because at that point you're making 10 mil a year, you could quit your job. You could just live off of 10 mil a year
and just live and do that same little thing. That and same thing.
The next year, let's say it's 9%. Okay, it's 9 mil. Oh, cool. Let's say it goes down. You have a bad year, you get 5% return. It's still 5 mil. Right? You know what I'm saying? And then let's say one year you have a great year, you get 12%, that's 12 million a year for that year. So I mean, and then you could do what you want with it. Because honestly, if it was me, let's say right now, I would just take the 10 mil and just budget to live off of 1 mil each year and just reinvest the rest of it for the next 10 years.
Living off of 1 mil a year.
Right. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like
if you keep on living by the means like you live right now, obviously, if you get more, obviously, if you get more money. I mean, there's going to be some things more expensive things that you'll buy and everything. But if you budget
Yeah.
and do everything right,
It's
a
cake.
meal for an average person in the U.S., that's
And look, Calvin,
simple.
you're not doing a thing. You're sitting on your butt. It's not like, I'm going out and working these 80-hour weeks. From the Dogecoin investment, I liquidated a small percent, right? I only liquidated a total of what? Well, I said 99 mil after I got up to 150 mil, but you don't liquidate all of it. So I still have 100 mil in Dogecoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then but the whole point of this example is whenever you have an investment that doesn't pay out return, it's solely on the appreciation of the value of it. Once it gets to a high enough point, you take some of it out and you just invest it into something that will give you money back. And then you can just live off of that. So, I mean, that's just where I'd be at mentally, is like, I'm just trying to get to that point. I'm trying to get to that level where my goal is one of my goals is to have have $1 million in my real estate portfolio, build it up to $1 million. So if I can make 9-10% return on that, that's 90,000. I can live off of that. Or, obviously I'm gonna work till I die. So
Yeah,
I'm not gonna ever really retire. So 90 mil coming in as on the side. You say you got this job. Let's say I got a job. Say I'm a professor, whatever. I'm making, let's just say
80K.
Right, 80K. And then I got
80K.
this 90K coming in on the side from not doing anything. Straight.
Cooling, stress free. Grading papers, just knowing that you just got money set aside. You're like, if something falls through, bro, the university don't want me no more. I'm straight.
At this point, I'm doing it for fun, and they just pay me to have fun. Right?
Exactly.
So that's just where I be at mentally. That's how I think about my investments when I invest, and I just be trying to help people out. I be trying to tell my buddies, boys, whatever. Like, hey, look, I just invested in this. Y'all don't have to. Like I say, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I don't handle people's money for money. All the advice I give is just me just trying to help people out that I know. And I'm just like, hey, I did this. I did this. I think it's a good investment. If you want to, you should. But if not, hey,
you can do you, bro.
Right. I'm just be trying to help out. But it was funny because we was talking about Dogecoin yesterday because it was doing really, really well this past weekend. And we was all in the truck. Trey was like, somebody make me an account. You got to be 18 to have a Funrise or to have a Robinhood. So like me, my mom, Kylan was setting up his Robinhood. Me, my mom, my dad, we're all just sitting there buying Dogecoin because it was dropping. We were buying it. Like, oh yeah, we got to buy it because it's going to go up. And Trey was like, I want some Dogecoin. Somebody buy me some. This dude.
Trey was like, bro, I want me some. I need some.
Trey,
hey, I mean, he's young. He's trying to get a little piece of it. Why not? Try to help him out.
Well, by the time Trey get 18, Dogecoin gonna be past that 1-to-1 ratio.
Oh yeah.
But Trey, you just gotta save your money up. So when you need to start working. All that money you living at the house in high school, all the money you make from working, I save all that up and put into you need a Funrise. I love Funrise. It's my favorite.
You told me about Funrise and everything. I need to like look into that. I downloaded the app and everything, but just haven't like taken the time and actually like went through it and actually like got familiar with like everything on there.
It's super user friendly, and it's one of those apps where it does everything for you. You just put the money in, it does everything for you. Like I don't do a thing. Yeah, I just put the money in, and I made 9% return. The average return in the stock market, the SP 500, the average return in the stock market is 6%. So anytime you can add. Anytime I get 6% or higher return in a year on an investment, I consider that a win for me because it's either as good as the stock market or better. I did 9%, so I'll take it. And this year I'm on pace for like 10.6%. If I do 10.6%, right now all my money's being reinvested too. So I'm not making enough dividends to live off of none. So I just reinvest it. But I hope giving out free game. I need to do one of those. You ever see those ads where they're like, "Are you tired? Are you tired of living a 9 to 5, making minimum wage? Swipe up, and I'll show you the key to starting your own successful business." I need to start doing those webinars and start charging people $200 for an hour webinar.
Fine is trying to do. He's trying to make it by any means, any avenue.
Bro, I'd be seeing those ads on Instagram where they're standing in front of like a Ferrari, and it's like, man, I used to work a desk job. Now I make $150,000 a year. You want to learn how to do the same? Swipe up. Like, oh my god, this is so corny, so cringe.
Knowing that Ferrari probably a rental,
right? Oh, for sure, rental. Some of them though.
Some of them
that's actually theirs. Yeah, some of them I can Google them. They're for real success story. Like that shows their story. Like they was flipping burgers at McDonald's, and I was watching one dude. This is how I got into Robinhood, because I wanted to get into buying stock, but I didn't want to go to a stockbroker because you got to pay them whatever. I wanted to do it myself, and so I saw this YouTube video where this guy did it all his own. I muted myself on accident. He got a Robinhood, and he made $1 million his first year on Robinhood because he was working at like McDonald's, something like he was working some kind of job that he just did not like McDonald's or some kind of fast food. And he's like, he had saved up $26,000 in his savings account. So he heard about Fundrise, and he kind of learned a little bit about day trading, or not Fundrise, Robinhood, about day trading. So he took all his life. He say, I wouldn't do this. It's a little aggressive.
It's risky. Very risky.
$26,000, put it into his Robinhood. And then he started looking at stocks, whatever. And he found one stock, and he saw it drop a lot. He put he bought 26,000 worth of this stock at low. And then later that day, it went up. He sold it. He made like $50,000. Then he would take all of it, the 50,000 plus 26. He went down again, bought it at the bottom, went back up, sold it. And he was like, I think he said like after his first month, he made like $100,000, something like that, something crazy. And then he started like only taking a certain percentage. So if he lost it, he still had money. But then after his first year, he made like a million plus just doing that day trading. I was like, what? So I was like,
just risky though.
Oh, it is risky.
That's so risky.
I wouldn't go that far. Now I probably would have. I don't day trade. I'm long term. I buy the stock and I let it sit. I want the dividends.
So I don't understand day trading. I really don't.
Day trading is you literally sit in front of your computer. So let's say you go to Ford, the Ford stock. You sit in front of your computer, and let's say you put $1,000 in. You sit in front of your computer. When it drops low, you buy it. You buy $1,000 worth. Then when it goes back up, you sell. And then you sell it when it's up, and you make a profit. Then you take that money, you wait. It goes back down, you buy again. It goes back up, you sell again. You just sit there all day and day trade.
That is so stressful.
Now they have algorithms and programmings now where you can make a limit order where you could tell, like right in Robinhood, you can be like, hey, when this stock gets to 56 cents a share, buy this amount. And then you can put an order where when the stock gets to 90 cents a share, sell this amount. So you can have it to where it does it for you, where you don't have to sit. Like back in the day, they literally would just sit in front of the computer. Yeah, but now they have it to where you can just set that, and then you can just go about your day, and it would do it automatically for you. But that's not for me because one, I have stuff to do throughout the day, and
I feel like everybody does.
Yeah, and two is I'm in the long term. That's short term. Like if you're just trying to make quick bucks, right now, that's day trading. If you're talking about long term, the dividends, that's what I want. I want to basically have my Robinhood every quarter is like, bam, here's $50,000 from all your stocks, kind of thing. That's what I want.
I feel that. Good talks. Good game.
Right. That was a little side note. Well, it was on the list. It was on the notes, but just trying to educate. But what we got next? Are we on lunch tables already?
I believe we are. How many you got? I got 1.5, maybe.
Ray, you doing lunch tables?
I got one.
You got one?
I got one specifically. Hold on, Trey. Do you watch Marvel, DC, like all that stuff?
Not a lot.
Okay. Well, this one is just probably made for Finest then. Because I thought Mitch was going to be on it too, because he was dedicated to Mitch, but he ain't on it. and I didn't know Trey was gonna be on. So, anyways, I'll go for my first one. Fine. So with this question, if you first thing DC or Marvel, which one are you picking first?
Marvel.
Okay, Marvel. Describe to me the whole plot if you were a Marvel character. How like you would be the
Ooh.
superhero. Like how would you describe the plot? Like what's your superpowers? Enemies, all that. Like give me a detailed description of how that would look like from you.
All right. All right. Ooh, this is gonna be a lengthy answer. Okay.
And that's why I wanted to ask you and Mitch because I said this question. So we're gonna ask Mitch next week.
All right. So look, some of this is gonna sound like I've thought about this already, but not all of it is. The power here. All right. Let me just start. All right. Here's the plot. So I'm older. I'm a little older, and I'm still a physicist, and I'm working at a lab, right? This is how I get how I get the powers, right? I'm working in a lab. I'm working on molecular manipulation, right? And so I'm trying to work on a teleportation device, but there's two types of teleportation devices, right? You have the molecular manipulation teleportation, and you have the dimensional transfer teleportation, or like how do I explain this? All right, I'm just not get deep into that. I'm just working on teleportation, right?
All right.
So obviously something goes wrong, as it goes wrong, and I end up in the middle of some radiation, yada yada yada. Bam, I get my powers, and I can teleport. But it's more than that. It's molecular teleportation. So what that means is I can control my molecules to where they can create wormholes to go from one space and time to another space and time without actually traveling through the space, right? It's like a wormhole, or Eisen-Rosen bridge, something like that, right? But what that also means is I can manipulate my molecules, which means I can also decrease the space between them or increase the space between them. So I got density manipulation. So I can control how dense I am, which also leads to superhuman strength. Okay. So that means that like if a truck was coming, I could increase my density to where I'm like 1,000 pounds and run right into it. Kind of like Luke Cage, kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So because there's like some caveats to the power. So like I got the teleportation is just a product of this molecular manipulation. So I can teleport. I got the density enhancement. I also have I can make clones, right? If I can manipulate my molecules, I can also make clones of molecules. So I got those three are the main powers: teleportation, the density enhancement, and the clones, right? Now here's the plot. Well, I don't know how the plot would be for. I just end up being a superhero.
Yeah.
Whatever. But that's pretty much the powers. So there are catches to these powers. One catch is obviously the more clones I make, the weaker I am. Okay. But here's the thing with the clones. I can't dissipate. The clones can't just go away. I have to fuse back with the clones. That's one catch. So if I make a clone and he gets kidnapped or he gets killed, if I want to get the powers back, or like not powers, but like because like we make two different clones. He learns one thing. I don't learn what he learns at the time of the separation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to learn what he learned, let's say I make a clone, I want him to go to school. He goes to class for me, and I'm just sitting at the house doing nothing. Let's say I make another clone, he goes to the gym, he works out, and I'm just sitting in the house doing nothing, right? Well, to gain the strength that the one that worked out with, he has to come back home, and then our cells have to merge back together. I gain his experience. The one that goes to school, he comes back, I merge with him, I gained his knowledge. So I know what he learned and I have it, but we have to physically merge back, because sometimes you have clones like in Naruto, poof, they like just poof and whatever, and then he learns it after it dissipates. I have to physically come back with them. So that becomes a problem where if, let's say, one of them gets killed, I can still learn his experiences, but if he gets killed and they steal the body, I miss out. I have to go get the body, right? So that catch. Second was teleportation. Obviously, I had to have at least been there before or see a picture of it. So I can't just teleport like right now to Egypt. I have to either see a picture of where I'm trying to go, or I have to have been there before with that, right? And then there's really no catch to the density enhancement, but just I guess super durable. But yeah, that'd probably be like my whole setup for superpowers. It'd be kind of live.
Very thought out. Very, very thought out
Yeah.
and detailed.
That'd be live. That'd be so live though. If I got 3 clones and then we all like, or we got superhuman strength because our density is
How many
stupid
clones
high.
are you gonna allow yourself to get up to? That's the real thing. Because you can't have like 10 of yourself like
Right now, well, here's the thing. The limit to my cloning is just practice. So like, let's say when I first get my powers, I can only make 1, right? But as I practice and get stronger, 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 I can end up making like multiple. But I guess I'll cap it. I'll cap it at 10. But that's at like my ultimate peak is 10.
Okay, fair enough. Because I was about to say, I'm like, with everything with everything going on and everything like that, just
now think about
I think
this
dude's gonna have like 100 clones just doing everything. Like,
but think about this. Think about how strong I could get. Let's say I make 5 clones. So 6 of us, the original, and also everybody knows who the original is. Because like with clones, if you don't have like the right setup with the background of the clones, you don't know who the original. Let's say the clones that I make, everybody knows who the original is. So like that way, I don't make a clone. He's like, I'm the original. No, I'm the original. We know who the original is, right?
yeah.
So there's no like fighting. Like we don't fight against each other because we know who's the clone, whatever. But think about this. Let's say I make 5 clones. And I send all 5 of them to go work out, right? They all go do a workout. Calvin, when they come back, think about how much stronger I get when I have basically experience of 5 different me's going through a workout.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All right, let's say I make 7 clones to go read books or to go search stuff, right? To go look up stuff, right? If I have, and then we all come back together, it's like 7-fold of the knowledge I gained in that one. Let's say they go for 1 hour, go to the library, go learn about everything.
You learn 7 different things in 1 hour.
Right, exactly. So when it comes back, and I retain it because it's each individual person. So it's like, all right, let's just say I create a clone every day, or you speed train every day. I make another clone. You weight train every day. You basketball train every day, ball skills every single day. And if I do that for like a year, and I make 2 of them to basketball train, 2 of them to speed train, 2 of them to strength train, I get twice as good at 3 different things twice as fast, or like 3 times as fast. Right? It's like when in terms of training, it's like almost OP. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say
it is OP. It is OP. Like it's not almost, it is.
Yeah, like if I gotta learn something like quick, I can make 9 other me's. All 10 of us could be working on it. Then we all come together. It's like a week's worth of training in like 1 hour type thing. So that's my answer. I'll stop so Trey can answer.
Trey, okay, first thing, which one you picking, DC or Marvel? If you have a preference.
Marvel.
All right. If you had, what's it called? If you were a superhero, how would your plot be? And what powers would you have? Like of the story and everything.
I don't really know what the plot would be, but like I already know what powers I probably have.
All right, tell me. You're limited to 3 powers max.
3?
3.
Like, yeah.
I feel like he about to go in on these powers.
I probably have I have super speed and super strength, and probably how the Green Lantern can make stuff,
like a lantern ring.
Yeah.
Would you need the ring, or is it a part of your physical powers?
It's part of my physical powers.
That would be too bad. That'd be a solid little power. That'd be a solid little setup. That'd almost be OP to be a speedster and like Superman type strength.
Yeah.
Because Superman's even Superman with all his superness isn't as fast as the Flash. If you could imagine Superman as the same fast as or faster than the Flash, you're talking about OP. And then with a Green Lantern ring, oh my God.
For me, you done, Trey? Or you gonna add some more? For me, the plot, I don't know. The plot would kind of be like, I was thinking like a Benjamin Button, like old dude getting younger, but as he gets younger, he gets like his strength and everything and gets his superpowers. That's kind of how like that plot would go for me. Now, like powers, obviously, I was thinking about teleportation and obviously speed. But the third one, man, I don't know. I was kind of thinking of something like unique. I don't know. I don't know what something different would be for that. because strength and speed, everybody wants that, or it has to have
Right.
some capabilities of that. Is it like power? That teleportation would definitely come in handy. Definitely.
I feel
Third
like
one, man.
if you
You
got
say what?
if you got teleportation, would you even need super speed?
No, not necessarily.
Because if you got teleportation, you're faster than a speedster, but not technically, but just that you could travel faster because he still has, even though he can get to, across the world in seconds, he still has to travel that time. But
Hmm.
if with teleportation, you literally void that time. Like you're here, then you're here and you don't travel that. It's instantaneous. Like,
Yeah.
but in terms of like, I guess like, I don't know, reaction time and stuff, you wouldn't be as fast. That'd be
Hmm.
that'd be a cool dynamic though if you had both. If you were a
Yeah.
speedster and then you could it's like you
How am I
can't be
gonna catch this
touched.
dude?
You can't be touched.
Mm. Maybe have like some superpowers like with the force, something like that.
Like from Star Wars.
Yeah, something like that. That'd be nice.
That'd be
Third one,
solid.
man. I'm just the third one. I don't know what the third superpower would be, to be honest. If you have the force and then
Well, just what about
teleport
flight? Well, I guess if you could,
teleportation is flight. Like, yeah.
yeah, I guess you wouldn't need flight with teleportation. You could
I would
if,
say I would say the ability to like float, like once you're at a certain height in the air or whatever.
like just levitate,
Yeah,
but not
basically.
necessarily fly.
Yeah.
That's solid.
It could happen.
Now that I think about it, you could fly if you could teleport. Because let's say you just teleport like 30 feet in the air, you could
Mhm.
just keep like teleporting
As you go to your next
and then
destination. Yeah.
instead of falling, you teleport on the same level. But
Mhm.
you could teleport like once you're in the air, you could teleport like 30, 40 feet. That you know what I'm saying? Like you could teleport with distance.
Mhm.
So I mean, and then you could just fall for a little bit, like you're like gliding, flying, or whatever, and then just teleport back up whenever you get close and just keep, which would basically be flying, kinda, not technically, but
Mhm.
that'd be solid. You could chase
That's
people.
my one lunch table question that I got for y'all.
That's a good one. That'd be so cool to get superpowers. When I was a kid, I was like, I hope I get in an accident, I get superpowers. That'd be so lit. All right, Trey, what's your one?
Who do you think had the best draft in like NFL draft this year?
We kind of touched on this last week. I think
I forgot who we talked about.
who did I say?
I think I said the Chargers. I think they had like an A- with their draft. But I'm kind of biased. I like Justin Hubert.
Hubert. Chicago. Did I say Chicago?
I think you said Chicago. It's either you or Mitch said Chicago.
Yeah, because let's see, they got Justin Fields, quarterback. They got Jenkins, offensive tackle. That's right. They got Larry, offensive tackle from Missouri. Then they got a running back, receiver, DB, and defensive tackle. Yeah, they had a solid draft. Probably the Bears. Titans could have had a A- grade, but they screwed up that first draft.
I'm not sold on that, man. I'm not.
I would say like the Browns or the Ravens.
Yeah, theirs wasn't too bad. I don't think.
The Browns had the best linebacker in the draft in the second round.
Ooh, yeah. They got an A- with 8 pick, and they got their receiver from Auburn.
Yeah.
And the receiver from UCLA, safety from Georgia, linebacker from West Virginia, Ohio State defensive tackle. Yeah, they got the Notre Dame linebacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a solid little draft. Solid. Let me see. Is that your one?
Yeah.
Man, I want to think of a creative one because the ones I have on this list, all the ones that are left on this list are like super boring and bland. What's a good one? I didn't even think of a science one. I'll come up with some. I might make a list of science talks for the Besides Uncle Strip, so I always have some. But a lunch table question. Man, you don't watch anime, do you, Calvin?
Like which like I used to, but like I haven't watched none in like recently. Like when I say
Here.
recently, like 3
Here.
years.
I got one. If you were in Avatar Last Airbender, which element would you want to bend?
Bro, I haven't watched Avatar in so long.
It doesn't matter. Would you rather bend water, wind, earth, or fire? That's it. And why?
Probably water.
Water? Ooh.
Probably water, because just like, I don't know. I feel like water can cause just so much.
Are you always around water?
Like right now? Like, are you saying like
I'm saying like, because like you say water, I don't know. Because I mean, like, you got to think practicality wise. If you're a water bender, like, is there water in your room right now?
No. Okay.
No,
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
you
No. There's not water in my room. No, there's not.
I'm not trying to make you change your question or your
No,
answer.
I'm just saying I'm just saying if I was in the environment or surround.
No, I'm just saying right now, like the life you live, if you could bend an element as a superpower, which one would it be?
And what was it again? You said water, fire.
There's water, earth, wind, fire.
Water, earth, wind, fire. Let's just say earth then. What you gonna say?
Choosing? Trey?
I would say earth or wind.
Earth or wind? I'd always say earth because earth, like, that's savage. If you could earth bend. But
he said that's savage.
It's one, we're always like earth is everywhere. Like, and then, just rocks in general. And then you could metal bend by default. But I think I'm leaning towards fire because fire is kind of like earth, but even if you're on a boat, you could still bend fire. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like they make their own fire with the air that they have. So like, unless you're in a vacuum or unless you're submerged underwater, and even then they can still maneuver. Like you could always be, it's kind of like wind, but I just think it's a more aggressive version of wind in terms of like being able to bend. You could bend wind anywhere on earth, on in the ocean, wherever. Same with fire, unless they somehow put you in a vacuum. If they do that, they'll kill you. But so I'd probably go fire, and then you got the lightning. I'd probably go fire. Just because it's an aggressive power, and whatever superpower I get, I want it to be super aggressive.
Okay.
And then what was Uncle Iroh? I forget his name. With they hit the lightning. He shot it back. I was like, what? That's live. But I think that's it. Any closing remarks?
I ain't got none. Do you?
Trey, you got anything?
Trey?
All right. Well, happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. Special episode. I guess mother. I'm gonna name it Mother's Day special, even though it's just a normal episode. Mitch isn't here. He's out visiting his grandma. Is that what he said?
Yeah, grandma in Lewisburg. So he's was off the cast today, but he will be back next week.
He'll be back next week, and appreciate you guys listening. We're out. Deuces. Our first episode from the 615.
Yes, sir.
All of us, I guess. I'm the only one that's not be here, but we out.
Sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same.